He's a renowned explorer, always finding secrets. Being written about in Explorers League Geographic. With brothers like that, I'd feel a wee bit overshadowed. If I didn't kick so much ass! All right, lads, line up! It's hammer time!
I was told this suit would be my prison. Suits me just fine. Been called a lot of things. A renegade, an outlaw. Guilty as charged. Makes life exciting. You never know who or the what will be on your side. So when the Nexus King called it, there was only one thing to say. Hell, it's about time.
Sombra, it's on you now.
I'm all over it.
See the full animated short at playoverwatch.com.
Welcome back to HGC, where the competition is heating up. Team Naventic has chosen Sky Temple No Tomorrow after losing the first game in this series, Juan's first pick, consistent with what we know from No Tomorrow, especially with Dragonshire out of the way.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense on the map side for Naventic. They seem to be at their best whenever they can just take the team fight to No Tomorrow, and this map complements exactly that. We'll find out what the priority is here on the picks and bans, because as always, I will get it wrong.
It's something and then TAS. Arthas TAS, Mouth TAS, Zarya TAS.
Lucio TAS. We've seen something plus TAS that are removed across the board.
Which plays for No Tomorrow well if they want Zarya again.
False stat.
They've liked Zarya quite a lot.
So expecting again the Tassadar here, but what is the first pick if you are No Tomorrow? With the global removed, again, my first thought is that means you are leaning towards a Dahaka. You want to win in the global department. But if that's true and you really want to win that global, Naventic's now questioning, do we actually ban out the Tassadar? You take the global, like the Dahaka, and then we get Task Tracer, or you pick the Tassadar, and then we can take the Dahaka and then maybe deny the Tracer as a solo. It is one of her few maps that maybe she can be ran as her own, but she's still significantly weaker. They confirm towards the Tassadar. So this is where I'm always wrong.
No Tomorrow versus Tempo Storm. First picked Arthas, but with the false stat, yes, it makes so much sense.
But we got baited yesterday, the Dahaka ban and then no priority on global. I was just like, this doesn't make sense.
They wanted you to be wrong by saying you were going to be wrong.
Well, mission complete. Dahaka was picked up. I begin to slowly learn what is happening here. With the faucet removal, what's the next priority? Something with skirmishing. We know that Naventic has prioritized Tychus so highly. Malf is still up, so is it Malf Tychus? Malf Tychus, or, you know, I mean...
Arthas is out.
Arthas is a thing, that's true. I mean, if I was to be drafting this, I think I'd go Arthas Loose, or Arthas Malf, probably the
Loose
most...
is our...
The Loose, I call him Luckyo, I don't know, it's a weird thing.
Or Loose.
Loose or Loose.
Everyone's gonna have a nickname, right?
Pretty much. What's the Hakas? There's never...
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur, man. Malf, Bala. Leaving Arthas up still. No Tomorrow. Arthas Dahaka is a decent double warrior. Really survivable on their own. Reasonable damage. Not maybe the best of threat onto the backline. Arthas is good, but Dahaka is he's banking on his burrow to be able to make those big plays. And then I'm expecting either more focus onto the support. And what backline do we want to see here for No Tomorrow? Again, with the false set gone, that's something they've kind of clutched to. We haven't seen, well, we did see him on Sky.
This is the one battleground that No Tomorrow were willing to run Lucio on.
Yeah.
Versus Tempo Storm. And it was picked in this rotation along with Dahaka. And then it was Arthas, Lucio, Dahaka.
And then Tychus Lunara was the damage sources they chose, but they were also kind of choked out, which is, again, surprising considering Greymane and Li Ming are a thing. One of Li Ming's better maps. She is just gone with the wind in North America, just nowhere to be found. Though she still played around in the Korean region. Speaking of Korean region, we're going to have the triple warrior Zarya showing up.
About Li Ming, it's very preliminary, but she hasn't won a game yet, I believe, in part 2.
She's been struggling in North America since she
For a
got
long
nerfed.
time.
Like Calamity nerf to not hit minions was the minute she started falling out in North America. But she's still, you know, doing well over in Korea.
She ended up climbing to around 50 by the end of part 1.
She has holding her own.
Another one that has seen more play than Li Ming, Varian, only won 1 of his 6 games so far played this weekend.
You know, I would feel bad, but I just don't on that one. He's a hero I'm okay with falling out. Greymane removed. Not surprised. Again, a skirmish map. Greymane does well.
Yeah, it's the same thing that is the tempo did to No Tomorrow.
What does No Tomorrow get rid of? What frontliner are they afraid of? Because obviously at this point that makes the most sense. Or if they somehow are afraid of Tychus. That is the only other thing I can think of.
A noob.
Makes a lot of sense there. I probably would have feared Arthas more, I think, in this, with such heavy melee.
Well, if they want to pick Li Ming here.
That's a good
Does
point.
No Tomorrow want Li Ming?
I don't think so. I mean, Arthas makes a lot more sense in a triple melee. That feels a lot better. Just, I mean, can you imagine? A new Barak pops Locust Swarm and he's like, okay, I'm doing a bit of damage, but Arthas legitimately is going, everybody's like, I can't hit them. I'm trying. Arthas is just sitting there like, feels good. All right, so now when it comes to the priority on DPS, was Zarya denied by No Tomorrow and the tasks that are removed? There isn't the beautiful Vala shielding offensive strategy we've seen in the past.
No Arthas for Zuna to play. So what else?
We saw Zuna on
play?
Arthas, Dahaka,
And Sonya, right?
and Sonya. Sonya would be okay, but that was map dependent as well. When we did end up seeing it, was on Infernal Shrines. This one, there isn't anything that kind of stands out as a melee that thrives. Illidan's okay. A variant pickup for B-Kid. Tychus there now for Tomster, so sticking to the guns. See what I did there? I didn't actually mean that, I'll be honest. It kind of just landed on my lap.
We made that joke like a day ago too.
Yeah, it's just because it lands there, and then I go, I'm really sad I said that. It's more of me apologizing than it is, see how impressive I am? It's more, I'm sorry that you are forced to listen to me.
I'm not sorry.
So then the back line, who do we see the last time with the triple warrior? They ended up going with
Vala.
the Vala. So now the Lunara is going to be the choice. Okay. And then Ariel. Interesting to go with the Ariel with a triple melee. Huh. And then Zeratul. That was the one melee I forgot about.
That's a pick on Sky Temple.
Which now is a possibility here for Naventic because Zuna can move over there and everybody's sticking to the remaining roles because Zuna has made this interesting role swap from part 1 and part 2.
So another triple warrior protect with Lunara this time for No Tomorrow. Team Naventic have willingly chosen Varian, who has not been doing well so far. Granted, small sample size. We're only in the first weekend of part 2. But 1 out of 6 games have been won with him. He's been picked a lot, different teams trying to play him out, but realizing that his changes are significant.
The one thing that is really going to possibly bite No Tomorrow in this game is the fact that they opted towards the Ariel, and you're like, no, that kind of makes sense. You know, we've got 3 melees, I've got a battery, so AoE healing on these guys is going to be really good, except then you consider the fact that you have Varian with Taunt, and then Zeratul is going to be diving. You might really regret not having the cleanse if Aegis is ever off of cooldown. That is the one thing I am afraid when looking at this comp, but Zeratul into a triple melee is not good. You always want to have at least 2 kill targets when you're a Zeratul.
Yeah, and with the exception of Zeratul, No Tomorrow looked at this entire composition and said, we are fine playing without that cleanse. We're fine with Ariel. So it's not like it was picked super early and then Team Naventic, with all their rest of their picks, are taking advantage of that. They're willing to pick Ariel over Lucio. They're willing to play it over Karzim, which I didn't think, even Lieutenant Morales, potentially. So we'll see how it's going to work out for No Tomorrow. We are headed into game number 4 between Team Naventic and No Tomorrow.
Already a different build on Zeratul at level 1, going with the increased cleave.
Yeah, greater cleave.
Greater cleave.
33% increase of radius.
Not going to have Vorpal Blade, so dealing with the triple melee by saying, well, I am no longer going assassin build. I'm going to be more sustained AoE DPS. Makes a lot of sense here.
I wonder if we're going to see cleave again at 16, because obviously Sentence to Death, if you're still going to get level 7 Singularity Spike 2, is super good. But
I think you do.
If you get Void Slash and you hit 2 or more heroes, then it increases the damage and lowers the cooldown.
I think that's the route you go, for sure. With this amount of melees. He's going to sniff out this turret attempt on top. Made possible there by the fact that they have a global. Going to get about half of it down there to Hawking and decide which lane he wants to reside in. For now. Every other talent, though, is a bit of norm, so nobody going outside of the box here.
Yep, Ariel will be building into blinds for level 13 by getting the increased or lowered cast time for Sacred Sweep at 1, and then at level 4 we'll see Majestic Expand for increased range probably as well. Moonburn once again, the choice of Malfurion over having Scouting Drone increased visibility.
We just love to cycle Malfurion level 1 talents in North America. It was the staple forever, and then it was like, nah, Scouting Drone, that's where it's at. Everybody's going to move that, and now we're back. We're back on the Moonburn game. It's just stuff like that, you know. It doesn't make that big of a difference when it comes to specifically Malfurion level 1s. It really doesn't. It's more of a preference thing. I mean, you can make an argument in any direction. I just find it so interesting that no changes can happen and there not be that big of a difference, and you will see an entire thought process change for a large amount of people. It's just, you know, it's above me. It's amazing to see that kind of stuff. But for now, shots are going to be totally captured here by No Tomorrow mid and top. Some free rotations here. Everybody from Naventic moves in. Still yet for 4 to be achieved by either side.
Beaket's coming up. Lunara's there too. So is Zeratul. Nice detainment strike though on Zuna. And the poison is ticking down. Kenma is there but doesn't have the heals. Zeratul first blood.
That was so painful to watch, knowing that your brother walking next to you, slowly dying. You're like, if I could just get a heal. Kenma, maybe out of position, drags in land. Once more into big impact, uses the burrow. Heal is going to be there after. Tiger JK spreading out those heals. Top shots captured the entire time by Urho, as he can go back and finish off the final burst here.
It's a pretty fruitful first temple phase for No Tomorrow.
And, you know, it doesn't really get better than that. Maybe one more kill and not a single shot over your opponents. It's about as good as he can get there. Early giant camp rotation, though. I want to see them capitalize on this, not just get it and watch it die. I want to see them either invade the other one, pressure bottom front wall insanely hard, or make a crazy night play here. But just too often we see teams just casually be like, yeah, we got the Merc, that's cool. It's going to die.
Yeah, we know No Tomorrow has been willing to do this, though, pressure along with their mercenary camps and leaving bruisers until later, so they might be able to get free push on the fort, which has already taken a lot of damage from that temple. Because No Tomorrow pressured top lane right out of the gates, might be the play, especially, again, because they have the global advantage with Dahaka.
And you see Zuna has to instantly teleport out when he shows himself here. And until really, again, the 16 that you were referring to before, he's not going to be able to do too much. Just because his damage output, again, into squishies is awesome. Into high health pools, he just really doesn't have much going for him here.
He did pick up Rending Cleave at level 4, so now it's dealing the additional damage over time. 40%. So, unique Zeratul build from Zuna. I cannot wait to see how it pays off.
Worm at 7, correct? Oh gosh, since a rework, I've done traditional.
Yeah, wormholes at 7.
So then you move into worm at 7 to be able to make sure you can dash in, then get the rending, then teleport back out. You play it like old school. There it is.
There you go.
It's like old school Zeratul now, but instead of using your W as like an assassination damage tool, you're literally just, here's my Q, okay, I'm back, and you poke that way. He does come online a lot better with that rending and the 7, but it's still, it's not the same playstyle. It's hard to explain. Zuna has to play this very, very different.
The siege continues for No Tomorrow and bot. They're going to be able to get the well, and that is such a huge win as the temple will be activating in a few seconds. Not having that for Team Naventic is rough because not only does it limit reinitiation possibilities, but it also just flat out won't soak as many shots too. This temple is going to get even more straight onto the fort for Team Naventic.
Dahaka's ridding of the wave on top, so Naventic knows that he's yet to get the burrow in. But look at No Tomorrow trying to figure out who's going to move through that choke. Risk anything. Zuna goes in. There's the wormhole out. Jason took a lot of damage there. There goes the burrow by Dahaka. Big impact. Will the drag get there? No, instead on the mouth after Urho's Stormbolt, but he's so low. The heals coming out from Tiger JK are not enough, so both teams trading out even for now.
That was so cool to see Urho move off of the point in preparation of Dahaka to burrow in. That guaranteed that 1 kill was taken. Without a support, though, Team Naventic are going to back off. It was Urho who was lost, but with Casanova, that's still that tanky warrior who could be up in front. The rest of the shots claimed by No Tomorrow.
No Tomorrow has done a lot when it comes to structure damage. Naventic is keeping up in experience. You know, they're down only 1 kill, but it really is the story of the structures for now. If No Tomorrow can apply more pressure and rid of this mid and top 4 in their downtime, they're suddenly already on the 3rd rotation of shrines looking towards keeps, and that is pretty darn impressive. Almost unheard of on Sky Temple at the professional level.
We did not get Majestic Span for increased range of Ariel. Instead, here's the 10 advantage.
This is about 30 seconds too late. Not 30. I would say you have to start this at your 9 3/4 spike because now Naventic will not only be able to get it, they have better boss control post 10.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, smart play here from No Tomorrow. They figured it out.
That's great that they're at least willing to say this is way too risky. We have so much control. We've seen so many teams not have that big of an advantage and not need to take that type of risky play.
Yeah, especially when they are dominating in structures. You know, it's not even the kills. It's more the structure situation that they find themselves in. Another thing you have to look at when knowing that Zuna is going to be playing this different type of build, he is more lenient on his voids. Because he can go in and void at a much larger range than you could without that, just based on the fact that you don't have to use all your mobility to be able to get in, then drop the void, and you aren't skill shot dependent either. You can Vorp, or you can use Wormhole, walk a couple of steps, drop a Void, and then Wormhole all the way back if you need. But typically you hit so many people that it's very free to set this up. And so I hope that we see better voiding coming out from him purely based on that fact.
Maybe that was going to be the star. Arrows flanking in big time. Dwarf tosses away, but with the final grenade, he bought the time needed for No Tomorrow to take out the fort in mid. Only one fort remaining for Team Naventic, and that's in the top, and it's taken a lot of damage. It's just up to No Tomorrow to be able to close it out.
So here we go. We see two more shrines up. Trading out is a poor situation for Naventic, but one they may be forced into without having a global. We'll see. Oh man, is this going to be the dream? Okay, so this is No Tomorrow. What they're doing right now is single-handedly saying they are comfortable not playing this game to fight Naventic the rest of the whole time. They're going to trade out, and they're going to try and out-macro them by pushing up here on top. They know the boss is being started. They don't care. They're going to soak on mid. They're going to take out this
nobody's
wall.
even on the temple.
Yeah, they're single-handedly just going, we are done with playing into the teamfight strat. We are going to get so far ahead structurally that when it hits the later parts of the game, you can't trade even with us. I think it's the safest bet here at this point in time. What you do now is Dahaka should actually have rotated top, finish those shots, everybody collapse bottom, and then you all into anybody onto the shrine itself, because that boss is not going to do anything. It's a very early boss, 8 minutes, it just dies. And so it's a lack of abusive global on the center No Tomorrow, but it still is smart play, just not perfect min-max.
Casanova is checking out the temple. Now there's a wisp there. They want to know how many people were sitting on the temple. But in trying to clear out the boss, Jason's doing a great job. getting through that, as well as Talking Tree's doing what he can do despite not being a ton of energy. But Casanova takes over. No 13 for Team Naventic.
I just can't help but feel like No Tomorrow, if they play that situation better, they get at least 80% of the shots on bottom as well. But now they find themselves only sitting at about that half, which is then going to make the next shrine probably not be in a position to be able to get the... It should be enough, actually, to get the keep. So at least they have a double threat on keeps on both top and bottom if the next shrine rotation spawns there. Zuna's build still going with the auto attack heal there at 13. Makes a lot of sense, but also a bit unrealistic considering the build type. It's unlikely that he is going to be able to go in and do a lot of damage with his wormhole on the backline. He's going to be kind of queuing in, but anybody who tries to dive on him afterwards, he'll have higher survivability in 1v1. So it's a hit or miss depending on how No Tomorrow plays out and whether or not that talent will get any value.
Shattering Throw for B-Kid is going to try to nullify the shielding that Zarya has been so far putting out.
Taunt. Casanova here burns his ult. He's going to heal once. Twilight Dream, they used everything, and there comes the third HP bar.
And shielding too.
They're going to try and turn this. Actually, No Tomorrow don't even move up. That was 3 heroics, and worst case is the fact that Twilight Dream, we've seen what happens when that's used on a solo kill that might be a lackluster solo kill. Even worse is the fact that they did not get it. Oh, man.
What do No Tomorrow do to capitalize?
So you wait for the next shrine because that's going to be up before Twilight Dream. And you take the first couple of shots for free. You make sure you soak every lane possible, which they're doing right now, and you'll get the 16 spike before. That's all you have to do. But, like, perfect sniff there. Just not risking anything you don't need to because, again, you're so far ahead structurally. Naventic's desperate, and you can see it in their play. They are absolutely desperate to get a fight.
Yeah, especially sitting in that bush is not time. Getting back out into the lanes to soak.
Like, man. So this is confidence here. Realizing that they have no idea where anybody else is on the map, that they can move up and capture this by himself, but they now know he's by himself, taking a little bit too long.
Oh, that's Aegis. Can Dwarf Toss out? There's Void Prison only on Lunara. Dwarf Toss is
They still don't want this fight, though. They just need to run. Casanova now, the burrow in. The root's going to land, though, so he's going to cost him his life. No Tomorrow legitimately just took everything they've been working for in 11 minutes and risked it all on a giant kill.
As long as they don't lose anybody else, Taunt hits Jason, taking damage. Biggie's rolling in. Detainment Strike. But the damage from Odin and Zuna secures the kill. A second kill for Team Naventic. They are looking for more. They want more. They sniff weakness out of No Tomorrow and get the kill on Ariel.
The only silver lining is the Night Camp pressuring up on top the entire time, but will get the keep there. So a keep has fallen. And Naventic does not have a boss available yet for them, but it should be up soon here as we have 1 minute up. So No Tomorrow's okay, but they lost their entire experience advantage. Everything else is fine right now off of that choice and where they have found themselves. So as long as they can, again, still be willing to take even trades when it comes to the shots, they should still be able to win, but they no longer can dictate all the movement of Naventic.
Here's where 16 comes in for Zuna. He does take Void Slash, so all in on his cleave build.
He hurts now. The fact that he's got that cooldown should be able to do a large amount of damage onto anybody moving forward. So here we go. 1-4 is down, 1 still standing. Taunt goes out onto Urho. He's going to be fine for now. Heroics are still up here.
Detainment Strike obliterates Tychus. Leaping Strike.
Jason goes in, uses the Aegis, realizing, you know, he might be leaping a bit too far there. Urho does not get the Storm Bolt, but the rest of the shots going over to them. But because the shot advantage last was both top and bottom, this is not going to be able to threaten any form of the keep, only setting it up for the next shrine rotation. Boss is going to be up here, but there's no time here for No Tomorrow to make that play. Jason, Zuna's desperate for a play here. Will the Storm Bolt come out? Not a cooldown yet. Big impact, trying to peel.
Zuna has Void Prison if No Tomorrow groups up on the way out.
See
Jason's
the
trying to keep that energy bar up, but it is scary.
Yeah, you see that Q build Zeratul coming into play now.
Yeah.
And then the value it's going to make happen. They knows it's going to send No Tomorrow back, so do they question this boss? They're going to tap on mid. Naventic's yet to start it. There goes the Wisp. They don't even rid of it. There it is. No Tomorrow has to be regretting every ounce of that giant camp at this point in time. They still have control.
But it's not nearly as much.
It was their game to lose.
Yeah.
Now it's a game they have an advantage. Purely off of that one decision. Dahaka's still applying pressure top. 2 catapults are moving in. He's going to back out. Somebody's going to respond, probably Zeratul up on top. No, they're going to let it go for now. He's feigning the back on that on top just in case somebody applies any pressure and he needs to be with his team. So he's making the right call. If Urho survives, it could be a huge moment.
He's going to brush tuck in right in that small brush.
There it is.
Doesn't hit drag, though.
Urho's so low, too. I don't know if they can take this fight. 3 catapults are moving onto the core, but they need about 15 seconds before they're going to be anything of note. So Zuna should be able to move back here as it looks. There it is. The back's going to start. Shielding is going to be just, you know, kind of just tickling it.
Yeah, no, Tomorrow watches to see when someone shows up there. They see it now. They're just keeping eyes on the boss. Especially with the giant camp being picked up, they knew that some of the members were still there.
So now, if you are no Tomorrow, it's in your best interest to try to fight on top, not onto mid, because mid leaves the best area for Zuna to play with your backline getting split, whereas top has very heavy chokes, and wait for Naventic, because they have to answer to you on shots to make the mistake of moving on to the position itself. It does put you farthest away from boss, but honestly, you could feign core. You have a lot of other points in this game where you can stop them from taking the boss. Oh man, Zuna already goes in, taunt landed, shield going on, so much damage onto Zarya. Uses the Aegis there with the shield. Burrow come in for Casanova. Everything's fine for now, but that damage, the Void is going to be dropped. Odin as well, no Tomorrow.
Kenma
Gets just wrecked.
thought he'd move in for Twilight Dream, but not even necessary. No Tomorrow loses 2. Make that a 3rd. Trees somehow, some way gets back in time thanks to stopping. Oh.
Twilight Dream was dodged there by Urho. A small victory, but so far with 2 members down and 2 shots up, boss as well. 30 seconds of no members. Naventic here has a lot going on for them. They are going to have now full control of this game. The camp on top with the 2 catapults are nothing of concern anymore. It's just amazing how quickly this game changed.
3 warriors, no Lunara, no Ariel for 20 more seconds. No Tomorrow see lots of split from Team Naventic. They want to see where they can maybe put some pressure in and take some shots away from Team Naventic. They saw Tychus defending, they saw both temples taken, but haven't been able to find the spot in the armor.
Taunt's gonna be there. Should be okay. There's rain. It's whether or not Zuna gets on top of him. He tries, but Urho should be able to make it out now. No Tomorrow should just cut their losses for now. I guess they do have all their members up, so they can question this fight on top. With Void down, this is gonna be the most realistic fight for them. These shots are not going to even get a keep onto mid. Taman Strike just out of range after Zuna with that blink. Tahaka's still skirmishing though. Oh, Stormbolt not landing, but
Expulsion zone!
Oh, the cleanse is there, but Tomster! He goes down!
Oh, Jason's going after Big Impact too
Ken was
with
pinned.
Leaping Strike. He is not getting out of here even with an ice block, my friend.
It's just bought a bit of time here, and now the rest of No Tomorrow realize that they think they can end the game right now. Void Prison's still up. They need still 1 more pick. It's possible, but Void is a big enough tool that they might be able to save this game. So it's not a free win at this point in time. They go in a lot of damage there for Zuna. That's going to be the first Q. It's up in again in a couple of seconds. Shielding, dropping, not removed yet.
Over. That puts Jason away from the team.
Aegis is still here though. Oh, they've got it.
They've got it.
With the 80, the Void is only 5 seconds. They're totally fine as long as the shielding is there. There goes an AoE support. Aegis is still up. Leaking Strike should be enough there. So much damage output.
30,
the Hawk has fallen.
20. No Tomorrow. Just beat Naventic.
They did it.
Holy cow.
Yeah. In a convincing fashion,
Yeah.
really. If they remove 1 to 2 mistakes on fights, like those games, every game they won was very dominant.
What a change in performance for No Tomorrow. From part 1 to now, are you kidding me? Where has this been?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. And we saw the tweets we referred to, you know, earlier in the week, and we were just like, man, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's over already.
How did they do this? They managed to recover. It's just astounding. The team that most players, when they saw that this group was forming a roster, said absolutely no chance in hell They have a healthy relationship as a group. They start playing, they underperform, and then immediately with the tweets, everybody goes, told you so. I mean, thanks for stating the obvious. And then now they are playing on an entirely another level. I am astounded that this team is able to do this.
An incredibly important victory for No Tomorrow, that they're able to take out Naventic, but they have such a long way to go to get out of the bottom of the standings where they're at. But that was everything to start. A great series versus Tempo Storm, but a 3-0 or 0-3 nonetheless. This time, they take out Naventic 3-1 when Naventic had made positive improvements too. Let's talk to them ourselves, because I am dying to know what the changes were made. Hey, Airho, congratulations. You just took out Team Naventic 3-1. I gotta ask, we saw you guys at the bottom of standings after part 1. We even, questioned with some tweets that were going out what the mentality would be like for the team. Now you guys come in with these incredible improvements, both versus Tempo and now versus Naventic. Where did that come in? Oh,
muted?
Sorry, just a second. We can't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
Nope.
Nope. We know what you said, though. All right, we'll see if we can get that figured out. But while we do that, all the props, man.
Yeah, no, seriously. All the props in the world until we figure out the audio issues. Nothing but positive things really to say about No Tomorrow. I just still, what it means for them to get out of Crucible range, it's possible now. I thought before this started there was no way. I was like, they are the #1 prospect for me, and Naventic is going to be the close second. Now both of them made changes. I was like, maybe. Do we have them now?
We have them now. We're good. Hey, so congratulations again. Awesome job. 3-1 over Naventic's got to feel good. Would love to know, where the improvements came in. What was it for you guys that finally was the turning point?
Ripperoni and pepperoni.
Oh, no.
You can't hear me again?
Oh, now we
me?
can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my mic's good on my end. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. So I think the biggest changes that we made is just team atmosphere. We're a lot better as a team as a whole. So and we also switched me over to shot caller, which has put me in a better position to kind of control from a tank position. So I think a lot of that has a lot to do with it. So and we've made improvements individually. So it's starting to show.
I mean, I think that obviously shows with your guys' performance in your play that you guys have shown. It does seem like there's a couple of things to tweak with skill shots specifically in the group. You guys draft a lot of offensive things. Is he still here?
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
So you guys draft a lot of offensive chain CC, and it just feels like if you guys get that figured out, I mean, you guys look like you could be on an entirely different level as a group. Where is your dream end spot now that you guys obviously are kind of reforming as a squad in part 2?
I think for us, the skill shot thing, especially for me, I just have to give props to my team. I played Murden pretty badly. I missed a lot of cues today. So I think mechanically, that's something we're always striving to improve on. So as far as where we stand going forward, I think that we have going to have a lot better time. So.
Awesome. Well, you guys are now going to be